Okay, the reason I stopped the video and started a new video because I want to check the video I have recorded so far. It's just so big coincidence that I accidentally pressed the pause button while I was recording myself reading the sample events. Anyway, so I have to read it again because it didn't get recorded. Okay, so I'm gonna start from sample event 1 because it didn't get recorded. Okay, so I'm gonna read it, but technically it's supposed to get recorded, so it felt like I already read it and recorded, but just a big coincidence that I accidentally pressed the pause button. Okay, so I'm gonna read sample event 1 again. For the first time to be recorded. I'm gonna read sample event 1 for the first time to be recorded. November 2001 to June 2003, I wrote 3 articles for the Beachcomber, in parentheses, MBHS newspaper. For each article, I was given 4 months of time to follow my lead, do my interviews, and write my articles. Facts are facts, even if the argument is it is impossible for an underdog or an ESL student to be accepted as a journalist of the Beachcomber. Okay, so basically that's the brief descriptions I wrote for sample event 1. Okay, so I'm going to move on to sample event 2. Sample event 2, September 1999 to August 2000. I have the higher math achievement acclaim from 1995 to this point of time, September 1999. 5 consecutive years in Count Point Elementary School and Pacific Beach Middle School. All of a sudden, in my first year of Mission Bay High School, MBHS made 2 mistakes on giving me 2 F grades in 2 of my math classes. First F grade is Honor Geometry Math Class, parentheses, September 1999 to June 2000. Second F grade is Advanced Chemistry, Science and Math Class, parentheses, June 2000 to August 2000. Higher math achievement acclaim mean I have 100% test scores on all of my math tests. Also, I have the most high achievements award on math among all the students in the same school as me. F grade mean the lowest grade and failing grade. Facts are facts, even if the argument is it is impossible for high school to make a mistake by giving a student a F grade. Okay, so that's the brief descriptions I wrote for sample events 2. And I just want to add a quick note on sample events 2. In the past, I have took the step to go through each of my math class starting in 1995, and it's kind of like wrote a brief descriptions about each of the math class, like what happened and the problems I have to deal with. It's kind of like a brief description on each of them. And the reason is, number one, I felt that the higher math achievement acclaim is very important, and also like MBHS made the mistakes of giving me 2 F grades in 2 of my math classes is also important. That's why I felt that I have to go through, like from Crown Point Elementary School, then Pacific Ridge Middle School, then Mission Bay High School, those 3 different public schools, and briefly wrote brief description on each of the math class. So I took that step back in the past and wrote that, and probably I'll read it through again and see if I need to add anything to it. And I'm right now brainstorming that it will also be one of the contents in the later on contents in this magazine also. Okay, so basically that's the quick note. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the sample event 3. Okay, again, I'm just gonna pause. Just wanted to say that it's really hard to select a few events because they're all connected. It's like the reason. So it's like why those events happen. They're all connected. And sample events 3. September 2003 to December 2003, I have to deny about being rejected by journalism, military, and police academy. Facts are facts, even if the argument is it is impossible for journalism, military, and police academy to reject me after I got accepted as a journalist of the Beachcomber for 2 years from November 2001 to this point of time, September 2003. Okay, so that's the brief descriptions I wrote for sample event 3. Okay, sample events 4. February 2004 to May 2004. I'm struggling against carrying the burden of being a pioneer who will open the door to the new era. Facts are facts, even if the argument is it is impossible for a person who have immigrant status and low-income family status to carry the burden of having a story that will mark the new millennium, or a story that will bring up the Renaissance in the new millennium, or a story associated with Nobel Prize and Harvard University. Okay, so that's the brief descriptions for sample event 4. Okay, now I'm going to move to the 3 sample Atlantica story, which is the first 3 stories. Okay, sample Atlantica 1. Around fall 2003, I created and regulated the empty-handed combat lead for 6 years. Also, I'm the undisputed empty-handed combat championship title holder for 6 years. When the discouragement and doubts overwhelmed me, the first story, Legends of Legends, it's creeping up on me. Okay. I'm going to pause for a second. Basically, in the parenthesis, because back then, people, I don't know, like, there wasn't really an official name for the M10 Combat Lead. People just call it, like, like, whatever they wanted to call it, fight requests, or just fight competitions, and it's just I felt like it's more organized to be called it M10 Combat Lead. Like I'm saying, it's just, but it's that's the facts that I created and regulated, but it wasn't really that the official name really wasn't called M10 Combat Lead. But there's people just calling it whatever they felt like calling it, like fight requests, fight competitions. So anyway, the original first name for this first Balantica story is called Legend of Legends, which abbreviate as LOL, initially as LOL, and but to go with the M10 Combat Lead, later on I kind of wanted to kind of change it to League of Legends, to just be cohesive with them. But at the same time, it wasn't really an official name, the M10 Combat. It felt like back then people just call it what they wanted to call it, like fight requests, fight competition, and things like that. Because Legends of Legends and League of Legends are both initially as LOL, so kind of like in a way it felt to be more cohesive with the M10 Combat Lead would sound more cohesive to call it League of Legends instead of Legend of Legends. Okay, so I'm going to continue reading. Coincidentally, during this same period of time, I got into an affair with a Ninja Clan website that have a very active forum. There were some forum members stood on my side during this affair by saying that I should be ascended to be a Ninja Clan website administrator. I would argue that the Ninja Clan web admins should know the following. There were 4 legendary ninjas who have achieved the highest Ninja Clan rank. One of the 4 legendary ninjas made an exception to accept to train a pupil. That pupil is an orphan who have a lowly Ninja Clan rank, poorly raised it as a child, including poorly disciplined. After I made that argument, I stopped going to that website again. I picture someone would argue, why don't I just see the legend? Why don't I just see the League of Legends as that Ninja Clan website? Why I have to see the League of Legends is competing it against that Ninja Clan website? To go further with this argument, I'm just one of the web admins to create a Ninja Clan website, ... fill in the blank. Okay, so that is the descriptions I wrote for Sample Balantica 1. Sample Balantica 2. Starting on January 1999, I'm determined to give everything I got to trading card game. Also, I'm the regional TCG championship title holder. Parenthesis, 1999 to 2004. Around winter 2004, when the discouragement and doubts overwhelmed me, the story Silent Riddle creep up on me. Silent Riddle is supposed to able to counter the League of Legends. The Silent Riddle team have trained themselves to be at the national debate team competition level, but they have to keep the Silent Riddle activities in secret, and they have to always be vigilant and communicate using codes. The reason I think it is my cure is because being at the national debate team competitions, a person could get his or her words out to the world. I would argue if I did wrote Silent Riddle, then I would defend myself with, I'm just training for the debate team. Okay, so that's the description I wrote for Sambo Balantica 2. Sambo Balantica 3. My official government rank. Student Service Leader of CPES and PBMS. Journalist of the Beachcomber. Around 2004 to 2006, there were multiple wildfire disasters in San Diego, California, USA. Many houses were burned down. Many people whose houses got burned down have to take shelter at the parking lot of sports stadiums. A cousin, Kevin, told me he volunteered to help out victims of the wildfire disasters, like the thousands of people who have volunteered. Number one, it is too embarrassing to point out that no one have acknowledgement of 4 of my trophies: undisputed empty-handed combat championship title holder, regional TCG championship title holder, 1995 to 2003 higher math achievement acclaim, and beating overwhelming odds to be accepted as a journalist of the Beachcomber. So to save me the embarrassment, I have to say those 4 trophies have become curses. Example, the most highly acclaimed recognitions about me became curses. Number 2, I have very important things to say, and I can't get a word out to the world. Example, I can't get a word out to the world about League of Legends and Silent Riddle. Number 3, the contemplations on commit suicide. One day, my older sister, Lin Hong Lam, is driving her car down a hill with a lot of slope. I sat next to her. I watched her crash her car into another car. Some minutes later, a police officer approached Lynn's car. He asked me, "Son, are you okay. The crash looked pretty bad. It is like the first time anyone acknowledged me. The police officer have to talk to me because if he is talking to Lynn, okay, I have to pause for a second. I just totally, because I was in a hurry, like I forgot to add sister Lynn, the word sister in front of Lynn. Okay, so maybe some minutes later, a police officer approached Sister Lynn's car. He asked me, "Son, are you okay? The crash looked pretty bad. It is like the first time anyone acknowledged me." The police officer have to talk to me because if he is talking to Sister Lynn, he won't use the word son. Die in a car crash or finally a wildfire disaster wipe out the whole San Diego like an apocalypse have wiped out the whole San Diego. I don't know how many times she's been crashing her car into another car, but this is the second time within a month she have done that while I sat next to her. Then not long she passed away in a car crash. Number 1 through 3 is weighing down on me. I can't stop the following argument from constantly bothering me. Have a little bit of discipline and compromise. First learn how to walk before learn how to run. League of Legends and Silent Riddle are major league. You haven't even got accepted to the Little League. After being bothered by that argument, I would keep telling myself to start small and one step at a time. Not long, the third story growing tree project creep up on me. Start small by planting a tree on your front yard. Then one day I was very exhausted, so I took a nap. During the nap, an apocalypse have wiped out the whole San Diego. I'm walking around an area where trees are burned down by the wildfire. Denying stable ideal growth, parenthesis, SIG. This denial is equivalent to I'm denying about I know what happened to San Diego. On one hand, there is the big thing, an apocalypse have wiped out the whole San Diego because of the SIG. On the other hand, there is the little thing. I'm hoping one day return from the college campus back to my house, seeing my family one more time before the adversity have torn them apart. Okay, so that is the descriptions I wrote for sample Atlantica 3. Pretty much that is what I have wrote for the 4 sample events and 3 sample Atlantica story. Okay. Okay, so thank you for watching. Okay, just basically, so just another okay, well, okay, so that will be all for PTTS Exclusive First Magazine update. And if I have anything to add to this update, I will add it to the next update. Thank you for watching PTTS. Thank you for following PTTS. I'm gonna end this video in 3, 2, 1.